not be the only person who's lately been sitting back and thinking, how did we get here? Every single day you turn on the news and there's either some kind of, I'm going to put the word here because I don't know what we can say on here more, being planned, or one that's already happened all over America. And then there's also people unaliving people. There's people who are just homeless, and people who are starving, people who are working 3 jobs and still can't afford to feed their kids. And it's just, how did we get here? I never thought in my entire life when I was younger that this is what my adulthood would be like at all. And I'm not talking about like myself as an adult. I'm talking about all the things that are happening around like the world, but mainly in America right now. It's just, when will this end? When is this going to end? And then every single time it happens, there's this whole debate and this whole thing where people are trying to blame the Democrats or blame the Republicans, when it's like, I don't care who you support. These people are sick who are doing these things. So I could care less who they voted for, because at the end of the day, they're a bad person regardless, and they are unaliving innocent people who don't deserve to be unalived because of someone's stupidity. How did we get here? It makes me so sad, because this is not the way I envision my adulthood, like what the world would be like. And it's sad, because I feel like us millennials especially have gotten the short end of the stick for years, and we're just left to suffer it, I guess. That's a whole different topic, which I'll get into in another video, but how did we get here? Let me know what you think in the comments, because I'm not the only person who's probably thinking this right now.
To be honest with you, I don't see no hope for the future. The war's going on, the politicians that not getting along, can't come to no agreements. To me, it's going to be a bleak future for the next generations. We lived in the better years.
All right, Shalom. All praise to the Most High, Yahweh, by Shem Yahushai, by Shem Kakbadash, and double honor to our apostles, elders, and bishops here at Great Millstone. Teaching this truth is going all around the earth, and Shalom to the hopeful elect out there. It's your brother Atazawan from the Great Millstone here in St. Louis. And a real quick response to those 2 little short clips I put together. Got it from brother Hopeful Elect 3 from his channel. All right, and you see the citizens of Babylon the Great are lamenting, all right, over the fact that there is no mirth in this place, there's no joy, there's no happiness. And all praises to Yahweh by Hashem Yahushai for destroying the happiness, the hopes and dreams of the citizens of Babylon the Great, all right, which means that our Lord and Savior Yahushai is close in his appearance, and Lord willing, we be counted worthy to escape the damnation and destruction to come to Babylon the Great, right, and to all the hopeful elect that are across the world, right, the earth. I pray for salvation for all of us, all right? And so we see that they're lamenting over the fact that they don't see any hope in this place. And they went on and on, both of them, the young lady and the older gentleman, right, went on and on about how things just seem so gloomy for them. And, and one thing that we because we've been coined, right, by several people out there as the prophets of doom, and we take that on gladly, all right, that you're counting on some men, some wicked men, to help you to live your life comfortably. And that's not going to happen, right? The best years are behind in this bitch, all right, meaning the whore of Babylon, all right? That's how this place is described in Revelation 17. All right, this is the whore that sitteth on the beast, okay? And so now we're seeing, these people who had so much hope, in this place that things would be great for them, That older gentleman, no doubt, thought that he would live, quote unquote, his golden years in Babylon and be at peace and at rest and living well and comfortably. All right, and that's not the case. All right, and you see the wickedness of this place, and it's tearing these people apart. All right, and so we're going to get a few scriptures that talk about the last hurrah, right, for Babylon, all right, for AKA USA America, and what the fate of it is, and the condition of the people, and so on, right? That this was all prophesied, right, throughout the scriptures by the prophets of the Lord, okay, who are back these days to see the end of this, okay. Lord's will, like I said earlier, would be a part of that number, right? A part of the men that have been preaching and teaching the destruction of this place. All right, and when does it end? It ends when Yahushua returns. That's when it ends. Okay, and righteousness will come upon the earth when the kingdom, of the Israelites under Yahushua and King David, 144,000 governing body, and so on. When everything is put right side up. Okay, so without further ado, let's just jump in right here. 2 Ezra 16, verse 1, it reads, "Woe be unto thee, Babylon and Asia, woe be unto thee, Egypt and Syria. Gird you up yourselves with clothes of sack and hair. Bewail your children and be sorry, for your destruction is at hand." Okay, so you think about those ancient places, and what these are places where the Israelites were under torment, okay, in captivity, right? And in this Babylon, okay, it happened in ancient Babylon, and it's happening now, where we are under bondage, under this wicked man, you see. Verse 3, "A sword is sent upon you, and who may turn it back? A fire is sent among you, and who may quench it? Plagues are sent unto you, and what is he that may drive them away? May any man drive away in a hungry lion in the wood? Or may anyone quench the fire and stubble when it hath begun to burn? May one turn again the arrow that is shot of a strong archer?" All right, the questions are rhetorical because the answer is no to all of them, right? "The mighty Lord sendeth the plagues, and who is he that can drive them away?" Once the Lord decided to do something, it will be done, right? And there's nobody in any kind of strength that they may have in the earth that can stop the Lord from doing what he does, period. All right? "A fire shall go forth from his wrath, and who is he that may quench it? He shall cast lightnings, and who shall not fear? He shall thunder, and who shall not be afraid? The Lord shall threaten, and who shall not be utterly beaten to powder at his presence? The earth quaketh, and the foundation thereof," this is just about the strength of the almighty power, Yahweh. Okay, the creator of all things. Okay, "The earth quaketh, and the foundation thereof. The sea arises up with the waves from the deep, and the waves of it are troubled, and the fishes thereof also, before the Lord and before the glory of his power. For strong is his right hand that bendeth the bow, his arrows that he shooteth are sharp, and shall not miss, when they begin to be shot into the ends of the world." Right? And we liken it unto also what? When this nuclear war jumps off, right? When these things are shot out, when these ICBMs are shot out, that's going to be in the story. All right? Verse 14, Salakia, "Behold, the plagues are sent, and they shall not return again until they come upon the earth. The fire is kindled, and shall not be put out till it consume the foundation of the earth. Like as an arrow which is shot of a mighty archer returneth not backward. Even so the plagues that shall be sent upon the earth shall not return again. Woe is me, who will deliver me in those days?" Right? So even Ezra seeing in the version, thinking of himself, like, man, this is going to be a terrible, terrible time. Who's going to help me? Okay. Verse 18, "The beginning of sorrows and great mournings, the beginning of famine and great death." And you're starting to see that here now in Babylon, right? As that young lady mentioned, people being, taken out, right, by using the pew pew, okay, and people being homeless and hungry and starvation and so on and so forth, okay. These are the beginnings of sorrow, the beginning of famine and great death, the beginning of wars. That old man, talked about the wars that he's reading about or hearing about, okay, in this day and time. And the power shall stand in fear, the beginning of evils. These are evil days, and the Heavenly Father is behind evil. You know, He's the one that creates the evil, right? For His good, for His benefit, okay? And we'll show you that in just a second. What shall I do when these evils shall come? What are the evils? Well, behold, famine and plague, tribulation and anguish are sent for scourges, for amendments. But for all these things they shall not turn from their wickedness, right, the people, nor be always mindful of the scourges. Behold, victuals shall be so good cheap upon earth that they shall think themselves to be in good case, right? And that's what you got most Americans still, even though they, these are tough times, right? And the evils are beginning to come, right? People are still able to what? Go to the box stores, your Target, your Walmart, your Costco, and so on, Sam's Club, whatever it may be, okay, and still able to buy their groceries in bulk, and people are still going out to dinner and so-called going to entertainment places, whether it be a movie, or a sporting event or whatever it may be. People are still able to get around and do certain things, but there's a time coming where you won't be able to do that anymore, okay? Behold, victuals shall be so good cheap upon earth that they think themselves to be in good case, and even then shall evils grow. See, so it's going to get worse upon earth. Sword, famine, and great confusion. Okay. Verse 22, for many of them that dwell upon the earth shall perish of famine, and the other that escape the hunger shall the sword destroy. You see? So there's nothing but evil that's growing more and more intense in the earth, and particularly here in Babylon the Great, where, over, 100 years or so, maybe 110 years, all the people of all the other nations wanted to come to this place where they could have a new beginning and be whatever they wanted to be and start their own businesses and so on and so forth, right? This is no longer that land of milk and honey of great opportunity, okay? You're not living in those days anymore. It's Revelation 17:1. It says, and there came one of the seven angels which had the seven vials and talked with me, saying unto me, come hither, I will show unto thee the judgment of the great whore that sitteth upon many waters, which is Babylon the Great. All right. With whom the kings of the earth had committed fornication, the inhabitants of the earth had been made drunken with the wine of her fornication, right? Her policies, her ways of life, her ways of living, pushing these wicked agendas, if you will, upon other nation people, who had no such customs, right? Calling it, quote unquote, a democracy. Verse 3, so he carried me away in the spirit into the wilderness, and I saw a woman sit upon a scarlet-colored beast, full of names of blasphemy, having 7 heads and 10 horns. We go into that all the time, NATO, the EU, and so on. Okay? And the woman was arrayed in purple and scarlet color and decked with gold and precious stones and pearls, having a golden cup in her hand, full of abominations and filthiness of her fornication. Excuse me, Slakia. Verse 5, and upon her forehead was the name written, Mystery Babylon the Great, the mother of harlots and abominations of the earth. And I saw the woman drunken with the blood of the saints and with the blood of the martyrs of Yahushua. And when I saw her, I wondered with great admiration, right? So John seeing also the vision of the destruction of Babylon, all right? Its makeup, its way of life, its distortion, its deceivableness, its wickedness, its unrighteousness, okay? Being pushed out all throughout the earth, okay? All right. So when we go over here to Luke, let's jump up here to verse 10. Luke 21:10, it says, Then said he unto them, nation shall rise against nation and kingdom against kingdom, as that older man said, worried about the wars and the commotions that's going on, which, again, is part of prophecy. So that's how these things have happened. You see, it was already destined to happen, if you will. All right, it was written in the annals of the ages of time that the Heavenly Father had put out there for these things to happen. All right, verse 11, and great earthquakes shall be in diverse places, and famines and pestilences, right? Incurable diseases, so on and so forth, if you will, right? And fearful sights and great signs shall there be from heaven. But before all these, they shall lay their hands on you and persecute you, delivering you up to the synagogues and in the prisons, being brought before kings and rulers for my name's sake. Right? This is for the Israelites, particularly in this day and age, the elect of the Lord, right? Because this time of persecution and tribulation is coming upon us. Not only are these other evils coming, but that is in and of itself is an evil for the tribulation or Jacob's trouble. Okay? These other things they'll be there as well, and we'll have to endure those things as well. You see, so it's going to be a heck of a time. All right. Going on to verse 13, it said, and it shall turn to you for a testimony. Settle therefore in your hearts, not to meditate before what ye shall answer, for I will give you a mouth and wisdom, which all your adversaries shall not be able to gainsay or resist. Ye shall be betrayed both by parents and brethren and kinfolks and friends, and some of you shall they cause to be put to death. Right, so that death is coming, to certain men, right? And in that case, it could be women as well who believe and have faith, but there will be people in these evil times and days to save their own life will give you up if they know that you're part of the truth. You see? Going on to verse 17 says, and ye shall be hated for all of all men for my name's sake, but there shall not an hair on your head perish. In your patience possession your souls, right? So no matter what, the Lord is going to deliver us how he chooses. You see? All right? But there's some evil times, that's the point, that are upon this place. And that's how these things have happened. Okay, it was prophesied, and they're coming to pass for sure. All right, Jeremiah 51:7, Babylon hath been a golden cup in the Lord's hand, that made all the earth drunken. The nations have drunken of her wine, therefore the nations are mad. Babylon is suddenly fallen and destroyed. How for her? Take balm for her pain, if so be she may be healed. We would have healed Babylon, but she is not healed. Forsake her, and let us go every one to his own country. For her judgment reaches unto heaven, right? And you find that in the book of Revelation also, when it talks about it mounting up to heaven, like give unto her double. You see? For her judgment reaches unto heaven and is lifted up even to the skies, right? And that's what you're seeing when these people begin to lament, and it hasn't even gotten bad yet. Like I said, you're still able to move about, but wait until this next thing, this next occasion that they have planned, wait until it hits. And then you're really going to see. All right? 2 Ezra 15. Let's jump back down. I'll bring that. Let's just jump in verse 13. It says, they that till the ground shall mourn, for their seed shall fail through the blasting of hail and with a fearful constellation. Woe to the world and them, which is just really going into how the system actually is going to fail, right? There'll be famine, obviously, right? And problems here, okay? All right? Verse 14, woe to the world and them that dwell therein, for the sword and their destruction draweth nigh, and one people shall stand up and fight against another, and swords in their hands, right? Because she was talking about how much death you see, I guess, on the news, and how people are being taken out for no reason. Well, these are the days of evil. That's why. You see? The scriptures, the Holy Scriptures have all your answers, but people don't seek it out. Now you have the men, the prophets of the Lord, the teachers who are out and about on the streets in every major city, rural area, countryside, on the internet. There's no excuse for you not to know what the answers are. It's brought out to you every single day. Okay? Verse 16, for there shall be sedition among men and invading one another. They shall not regard their kings nor princes, right? So your governors, your senators, your representatives, your so-called president, vice president, Department of Justice, Department of War, whatever they calling it. Okay? It's gonna get so bad, all right? So bad that, it's gonna be total mayhem. Okay? In the course of their actions shall stand in their power, a man shall desire to go into a city and shall not be able, for because of their pride the city shall be troubled. The houses shall be destroyed, and men shall be afraid. Okay, and we're coming upon that time. Okay, there are people who refuse to go out, at night, because they think something is going to happen to them. Okay. A man shall have no pity upon his neighbor, but shall destroy their houses with the sword. And we call the modern day sword, could be a dagger, could be a knife, but, piece of iron, right? It shoots out lead. Okay. But shall destroy their houses with the sword and spoil their goods because of the lack of bread and for great tribulation, right? And that's that tribulation in time of trouble. All right. Okay, that's going to hit this place without measure, man. I mean, it's going to be worse than even what these people think is happening now. It hasn't gotten bad yet. Okay? And why? Because you got the wicked that's ruling. You see? 2 Thessalonians 2 and 3. Let no man deceive you by any means, for that day shall not come except there come a falling away first, which happened to the Israelites. Okay? Especially during the time of, 70 AD, all right? And we lost our heritage, okay? We lost our names. We lost everything, all right? And that man of sin be revealed, the son of perdition, right? Esau, Edom, okay? Who opposes and exalteth himself above all that is called the Most High, or that is worship, so that he, as the Most High, sitteth in the temple of the Most High, showing himself that he is the Most High, okay? And you have these people, as I stated before, who have that so-called God complex, right? Who think that they came up with everything. They created all the laws. They know they're the ones who created math and so-called science and this, that, and another. They think that they're at the forefront of everything, and that's what they've taught in their so-called world history, what do you call it? Manifest destiny, for them to come over here and do what they did to the native brothers and sisters, so on and so forth. And they never hold themselves guilty of any of the things that they do. Okay? Verse 5, remember ye not that when I was yet with you, I told you these things, and now ye know that, Salakia, and now ye know what withholdeth, that he might be revealed in his time, for the mystery of iniquity doeth already work. Only he who now letteth will let until he be taken out of the way. And then shall the wicked be revealed, whom the Lord shall consume with the spirit of his mouth and shall destroy with the brightness of his coming. Even him, right? So it's not talking about the spiritual demon or the spiritual angel, Satan, right? It's talking about a man who has his traits in the earth, right? Even him whose coming is after the working of Satan with all power and signs and lying wonders. You see, so it's a man who has all of that and exemplifies that within the earth. And you know who that man is, Esau, Edom, so-called white man. And with all deceivableness of unrighteousness in them that perish, because they receive not the love of the truth, that they might be saved. And for this cause the Most High shall send them strong delusion, that they should believe a lie, that they all might be damned who believe not the truth, but have pleasure in unrighteousness. And right, this is a place that's filled with unrighteousness, and even of our own, right, of the nation of Israel, who follow the unrighteousness of this place that this man has put out in the earth. Okay, the Lord sends you those delusions, right? Thinking that there's a better day coming, thinking that you can buy some land and property and get your Israelite community on, right? Thinking that if you give a big fancy cookout, right, the people are going to come and everybody's going to be comforted. You know, all these types of things. No, man, no. Right? This place is set up for destruction, all right, and that's what's coming. We'll get a few more here and then we'll end it. So Amos 9 and 8, and it reads, Behold, the eyes of the Lord power are upon the sinful kingdom, which would be today this place. Okay, and I will destroy it from off the face of the earth, saving that I will not utterly destroy the house of Jacob, said the Lord, right? Which would be the hopeful elect at this point, okay, that the Lord shall save his elect, his remnant, all right? Okay, and we'll read verse 9. For lo, I will command, and I will sift the house of Israel among all nations, like corn is sifted in the sieve, yet shall not the least grain fall upon the earth. All the sinners of my people shall die by the sword, which say, the evil shall not overtake nor prevent us. See, and you got 2/3 of our people out here in the world, you know, particularly these women, you know, who are out here Instagramming, TikToking, Facebooking, you know, showing all this stuff, you know, got all these, you know, dressed to the nines, trying to act like they doing so well in life, and you out here basically selling yourself. OnlyFans, if that's still going, you know, you got all these women who are prancing around. Man, trouble is coming, right? And a lot of you women gonna get caught up. You know, you have to say it, okay? Because you out here and you being careless. And that evil, again, Isaiah 45 and 7, it says, I form the light and create darkness. I make peace. And what else? I create evil. I, the Lord, Yahweh Shem Yahushua, do all these things. So when you see these evils happening in the earth and in Babylon the Great, know that it is the Lord who is doing this. Okay? Whether people are being judged, you know, that's all the duty of Yahweh Shem Yahushua. Okay? And there's no stopping that. Okay? So all the evil that you see, that you're talking about, hey, just know that the Lord is the one behind it. Okay? Even when it comes to the people that he uses. Proverbs 16 and 4, the Lord, Yahweh Shem Yahushua, have made all things for himself, right? Yea, even the wicked for the day of evil. You see? So it's the Lord that bring forth all this evil, all the judgment that you see, all the destruction that's on its way. It'll be the Lord's hand, you see? And that's why it's happening, okay? This is why you have these people that you don't, you know, these Babylonian citizens don't have any more confidence and faith in, right? They don't give credit to the almighty power because it is really him that's doing it, all right? Or Yahweh Shem Yahushua, okay? So that, you know, just real quick off of the, I don't know, was it a couple of minutes maybe of those clips, you see? All right? So that's why the mirth is no longer here, okay? The reason why people are sitting around pondering, wondering what's going to happen next. When's the other shoe going to fall? Don't know when, but we can say that it's soon, all right? So that, we're in the lesson right there. Giving all praise, honor, and glory unto Yahweh by Hashem Yahushua. Shalom.